to another stream by your favorite YouTuber of all time, Killbot and Gorgor Tech. Now let's make sure that everything's going well. Okay, managing moderators. I don't care about the moderators. I'm moderating on my own. Okay, wonderful. So, how's everybody doing tonight? We're doing this at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. A little earlier than I usually do them, but hey, gotta keep diversity as far as that goes. Okay, Killbot spawned the Cacodemon. That's the subtitle for the stream, as I watched a really good Deicide interview earlier today on the Garzo podcast with Glenn Benton. Excellent interview. Glenn's a very well-spoken and intelligent guy, it seems, and I just realized that it's been almost 20 years since the Hoffman brothers have been out of Deicide. Now, see, a lot of people get pretty hung up about the Hoffman brothers not being in Deicide, but the fact of the matter is, it's almost been 20 years, and they have released really good albums ever since they've been gone. Like The Stench of Redemption. Holy shit. The Jack Owen and Ralph Santola lineup, underrated. Excellent albums. In the Minds of Evil was excellent. Overtures of Blasphemy was fucking awesome. And people forget In Torment and Hell sucked. And that had the Hoffmans on it, so there you go. Incinerate Him I also wasn't the biggest fan of, but I can tolerate it, so whatever. Okay, we got some lovely people. We got Death Zeppelin, greetings from Germany. Hey, how you doing? Greetings from bumfuck North Carolina. Tasmanian Metal. I'm good, what about you, Killbot? Whatever. Hello from Corpus Christi, Texas. Hey, you're in here all the time. How you doing? Serene Pierre. Hey, how you doing? There's a George Carlin joke. Like, part of your last name, Pierre, okay? There's a George Carlin joke where he's talking about the former president of the NRA. He's talking about, before Charlton Heston became president of these lunatics in the NRA, they had a different guy. His name was Wayne LaPierre. What kind of a name for a gun nut is Wayne LaPierre? Doesn't that sound a little fruity to you? Hi, I'm Wayne. I'm a gun person. Bang, bang! Doing that accent was so out of character for George, and that's... Every time I see that special, I just bust out laughing like an idiot when he says that. The Young Metalhead, greetings from Scotland. Awesome. Hey, how you doing, man? The Scots, you'll be playing bagpipes and stuff, and, you know, enjoying the nice green fields. I'm seeing Cradle of Filth and Devil Driver tonight. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I saw Cradle of Filth a few years ago in Durham. It was at the Cone Denim Theater. It was awesome. It was. I tried meeting the band after the show, and security ran me off. Fuckers. Jason Ott, love the shirt. Well, thank you. Thank you. It's Pentagram. For those who didn't know, I saw them a couple years ago in Atlanta, and that was the heaviest show that I ever saw. That and Sleep, but that was heavy for a different reason. Kaz Jacket. Hey, Killbot, glad I caught your live stream. I have a 3-hour trip to my first concert. Oh, hell yeah. Where are you going, man? I got quite a trip to a concert myself. I bought tickets to see The Cure in New Orleans the other day, and I booked the flights last night. So, Tony happy. Tony very happy. I've been wanting to see The Cure for a long-ass time. Many years, in fact. I tried seeing them when they came to Raleigh back in 2016. I didn't have a license yet, and I tried to arrange to go see them with a friend who could arrange a ride. And the arrangement wasn't going to be that I was going to buy the tickets if they could get us a ride there. Unfortunately, I got kind of dicked around on that deal, and I didn't get to see The Cure. Part of me wants to send them a message. We're still friends. Part of me wants to send them a message. Hey, remember that time that we tried to plan The Cure and it didn't happen? Well, guess what? I'm going to go see them, and you can't go! Kevin Hampton says, got my Skinny Puppy tickets. Can't wait. I can't wait either, man. Gonna see him 2 nights in a row. Casey Pleven, greetings from Ireland. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Tasmanian Metal. Cradle of Filth rules. Regardless of your opinions, the musicianship and Danny Phelps vocals can't be ignored. Dude, I fucking love, fucking love Cruelty and the Beast and Dusk and Her Embrace. Excellent stuff. I haven't heard anything they've done after Godspeed and the Devil's Thunder, but I don't have any negative opinions of them anyway, Actually, a mutual friend of mine used to play keyboards for them, so Keynote Mutual right there. I don't know her that well. Ethan Price hails from Illinois. Hey, I went to Illinois a few years ago. Chicago, baby. Toxic Paradox 666. I wish I could see Skinny Puppy so bad, but I'm currently unemployed and trying to find work. Dude, move mountains to go see this. Just ask an uncle or a grandmother or something if they can, let you borrow money for tickets. Trust me. You're going to look back on this period of your life and be like, I didn't have a job. I couldn't go see Skinny Puppy. I regret it so much. I should have sold everything I had. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Move mountains. Do what you can. Good luck on the job hunt, bud. Mayor Rain, that's so awesome. Have fun. The Cure forever. Dude, I love The Cure. In fact, just before this stream, I was finishing up their Wish album. It was the first time I had heard it in many years, and I forgot how good it is. A lot of people say that that's their last great album. I remember enjoying Wild Mood Swings quite a bit, too. I guess when it came out, the public wasn't really in tune with what The Cure was doing, but it was just as good as they usually do, Bloodflowers is pretty good, too. Silent Abyss. Killbot, what dystopian songs do you recommend listening to get to them? I'm going to assume that you're trying to ask about the band Dystopia. The entire Human Equals Garbage album is wonderful. Go to Tank Crime's Bandcamp page, and they have it. If you want single songs, I suppose, Hands That Mold. General Rye Guy 4532. Yo, I finally made it to a live stream from you. Awesome. Welcome to the stream. Metal Manic, Killbot. I don't know if I told you, but 2 or 3 weeks ago, I bought your patch off of Etsy. And thank you for buying that patch. Now, for those who don't know, you can buy my patches directly from me on social media through my DMs if you have PayPal, or Venmo for that matter. But I have a bunch of Killbot patches that are also available on Etsy. The link is in the description. You can also buy shirts and hoodies from me. And I'm currently trying to figure out a new shirt design. I've been sort of in touch with a couple of artists, and nothing has really gotten anywhere, so the search is still on. But these patches, you can buy them from me for $6.66 a piece, free shipping anywhere in the world. Come on down! You can also buy them on my Bandcamp. Anna, hi, I'm going to a Deicide concert in August, and I don't know how to feel about it. Feel awesome, because I've seen them twice. They fucking rolled. Funniest live band ever, next to Guar. I mean, Glenn talks so much shit when he's on stage, and it's amazing. Yes, he will shit talk the Hoffmans at times, too. It's great. And he'll shit talk the audience members, and sometimes he'll shit talk the club. Someone was doing an incantation in the mosh pit a few years ago before the song was getting ready to start. And then Glenn just walked up to the microphone and said, yeah, whenever you're done, we'll play the next song. Good definition of a likable asshole. And again, I was talking earlier about that interview that I saw with Glenn Benton on the Garzo podcast earlier. Excellent interview. Really well done. I would love to see him do more of them. Maybe do one with Steve. Scott Norwood. I got tickets for the Megadeth show in Hamilton. Can't wait to be slightly disappointed and begin deluding myself into enjoying it. Love your content, by the way. Hey, you obviously expect something out of it, because after all, you bought tickets. Hey, Mustaine is getting old. His voice isn't what it used to be, but it's still a fucking awesome metal show from what I can tell. Onixa, I like the content you make. Greetings from Brazil. Why, thank you. Thank you so much. Combat 97. Greetings from within your walls. Thank you. I can't pronounce this, but greetings from Carpathians, Ukraine. Hey, you're in Ukraine. How are you doing? How are you holding up? Unfortunately, that war has been going on for way too damn long, and fuck, man. Nobody thought it was going to last this long. I at least sympathize with you. Novar, greetings from Wisconsin. Well, thank you. John J, you're awesome. I love your channel. What's your favorite song to mosh pit to? As Your Casket Closes by Ghoul is one. Toxic Waltz, of course. That's the ultimate mosh pit song. We've got Obituary Dying. An obituary mosh pit is... that's a mighty mosh pit. You're gonna feel some bruises the next morning. Let's put it that way. Callum Cook. Hello, Killbot. Your tribute video was great. I'm guessing you're probably talking about my tribute to Dave Brochu that I uploaded on Tuesday, I think. Tasmanian Metal. I'm an artist as well. I'd be happy to work with you on logo designs. Mainly I'm looking for t-shirt designs. It doesn't have to be anything specific, but it has to, I don't know, I guess it has to fit with the channel and its concepts. Like, my logo is going to be superimposed on it, and it doesn't even have to be a drawing of me. It can be a drawing of anything cool. Just, it has to be like, the dimensions have to be like, I think they're 5400 by 4500 pixels. And yeah, just hit me up on Instagram, I suppose. We'll talk about fees and stuff. Dieselman says, what does your name mean? Apologies if this is asked often. Well, that's a good segue into what I'm getting ready to talk about. Many of you have seen my video that I uploaded on Tuesday, I think, about visiting Dave Brochu's grave. Now, Killbot is a Ghoul character, and Gorgor is a Gwar character. Giant fan of both bands. And so much of a fan that was part of my mission to go visit the grave. See, I'd already been to Gwar Bar back in 2017. But Dave's memorial stone was put up in 2019 in Richmond, Virginia, Hollywood Cemetery. For those who want to go visit the grave, you live in the Richmond area, or if you're visiting the Richmond area, it's near the entrance, okay? So you go to the entrance, there's this like circular patio, I suppose, and near it, there's going to be a sign that says Confederate Avenue, okay? Look at the sign that says Confederate Avenue, and it's up the hill. You got to look for it a little bit, but it's right up the hill. Can't miss it. It's like no more than a 40-second walk. And I'm going to be honest with you, I teared up when I walked up to it. Some of you saw the video. Yep, that was real. That hit me a little different, actually seeing it, than it did seeing pictures of it online. Because this fucking guy, his music, his ethos, his band has influenced me so much. Like, you gotta remember, I was a Gwar fan for a few years before he died. And my mom knew that it was a big deal when he died because she saw the news on wherever it was she saw it on, and she sent me the text, and that's how I found out. I was in gym class in college, and I got the text from her saying, hey, so Gwar's singer just died. I was heartbroken. It almost felt like I lost a family member. I'd never seen Gwar with Dave. I never met the guy, obviously. But for the next 2 days, I basically went on a big, giant Gwar binge. There was an album, This Toilet Earth, that I was trying to buy from Discogs. And one of the sellers I was trying to buy the album from, he pulled the album off of Discogs because he said, yep, I heard about Dave's death, and Gwar was important to me back in the day, so I'm going to be listening to these again. Sorry for the inconvenience. I even watched the Viking funeral. I think I saw it when it was live on YouTube. And that was... I loved Randy Blythe's story about Dave wanting him to be part of the Throid stage design. Like, you're going to have to watch the memorial to see what I'm talking about. But that, before I left town to go to Richmond, I went to Walmart to see if they had any roses. And of course, Walmart, not being worth a shit, they didn't have any roses. All the florists in town were closed because it was Sunday. So I couldn't get any roses for Dave. But I did leave a Killbot patch. It was fitting, really, as Gorgor is in the title of the channel. you know, I think Dave would have enjoyed what I do, you know? Just such a giant influence. But the Hollywood Cemetery is real cool too, because 2 United States presidents are buried there. President Tyler and President Monroe. And President Monroe, he's buried in like this big Gothic iron cast sarcophagus. It's awesome. And if I can pull up pictures, the person who took these pictures doesn't want to be credited, but I can still show you the pictures anyway. So let's see if I can pull them up. I can show you the picture of me in front of the grave, and I can show you probably the pictures of the sarcophagus if I can find it. Where is it? Okay, so I'm going to put this in full screen, and okay, full screen. Enter full screen. Okay, this is it right here. Now, interesting thing about this tomb is this is how it looked originally, and this is how it looks now. But over the years, the elements have oxidized it, so it's looked black for the longest time. And the city of Richmond, I think, spent almost $1 million restoring it to how it originally looked. Okay? So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's see. Here's a picture of me with Dave. It's not going to be the last time I sit with him. Next time I'm bringing roses, but you know, that'll be a story for another time. Y'all are going to have to see the video because that was pretty cool. And you know what? I'm going to show you this too because I really love this picture. They brought their really nice Canon camera. And so right near where the presidents are buried, got this awesome picture of me with the Richmond skyline behind me. So good. So good. Actually, that's so good, that might become my profile picture. I don't know. Okay, gonna read some more comments. Silent Abyss, gotta go, Killbot, bye. Aw. Well, thank you for joining in, even if it was for a short period of time. By the way, you can see these pictures in higher quality on my Instagram and my Facebook pages, if those were too blurry for you. Let's see. Make Credible says, I can relate to grieving about a musician you love. The singer that got me into the genre died some years ago. He was a big inspiration. Stuff like this hits hard. Well, you see, there are 2 sides to this, because I'm not really about the whole celebrity worship thing, but on some level, these people really do touch you and move you, even if you've never met them. Okay? So, you know, it's not really like a parasocial relationship necessarily. It's more that, you know, their contributions have been part of your life for so long, and it hits you. And there aren't many musicians that have died that I actually felt horrible about, but Dave was absolutely one of them. Dave was one of them, Lemmy was another one, and the third one was Eddie Van Halen. I've been listening to Eddie Van Halen's music since I was probably 9 years old. So, yeah, when my sister told me the news about Eddie dying, I think I teared up a little bit right there in the CVS. Yep, that sucked. Feel it's not a bad thing to be sad for the death of celebrities. I mean, I was absolutely heartbroken when I heard news of Joey Jordison and Gilbert Gottfried passing away. I miss Gilbert. I really do. And Bob Saget, too. And Norm Macdonald. I miss Norm. And I miss George Carlin, too. Because, yes, even in 2008, when I was, 12, 13 years old, I was listening to George even back then. I technically wasn't supposed to be listening to him, but there I was. Lukey God of Mischief. Keep up the good content, lad. Why, thank you. Yeah, but Joey Jordison, it's like, you know, I don't even listen to Slipknot, but his death felt wrong, you know? Like, he was so goddamn young. It feels like he wasn't supposed to die. Happy Pickle. Sup, my guy? Hanging. How about y'all? Oh, yeah, I realized that today is St. Patrick's Day, so if anybody's going out tonight, please be careful on the roads, because you may not be drunk, but all those oncoming drivers, hopefully they're not drunk. A lot of arrests are going to be made tonight. I'm not wearing any green right now, but I'll tell you what, this Mountain Dew right here, it's as green as I'm going, baby. Ha ha. Dew from the mountain. tastes best from the fountain. Full Metal Guy. Hi, Killbot. Love the Pentagram shirt. What's your favorite Pentagram album and why? What was it? The one that came out in 1994. Is it? I know the album. I just can't remember the damn name of it. Be Forewarned. Be Forewarned. This album is so goddamn heavy. So heavy. Such a strong set of songs. So well done. Love this album. Really love this album. And funny story about this. When I saw Pentagram, the band was hanging out after the show to sign autographs and take pictures with people. And Bobby Liebling, he was signing somebody's copy of Be Forewarned. And after he signed his name, he drew an arrow towards the boobs, and he said, "The goods," right there on the record. That was the heaviest show I ever saw. So fucking good. It was so good, I grabbed the set list before anybody else could, and some guy was wanting to pay me for the set list that I grabbed. I said, nope, that's all mine. Tasmanian Metal. As a new metalhead, only being into metal for a little over a year and a half, I've listened to so many subgenres, it really was upsetting to discover NSBM. Yeah, there are bad elements, but, you know, it's one of those things where you don't really have to listen to it, fortunately. Kevin Hampton. Neil Peart was the stunner for me. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Because I didn't even really become a Rush fan until after he died. I started really listening to the Rush albums 2 Christmases ago, and it's amazing because at 26 years old, I just felt really moved by this music that I've been missing out on that I wish that I'd heard earlier in life. Yeah, Rush just... It's nice. Even at 27 years old, I'm discovering new bands that I'm falling in love with and being inspired by. You know, a lot of people, they listen to the stuff that they first heard when they were teenagers, and yeah, a lot of that stays with you the rest of your life, but, you know, it's good to evolve. Wendy Ashworth. Hey, the babe. How you doing? Now, this chick's got some awesome fucking cats. If y'all are interested, go look at her Instagram because, like, you know, that's one of the things we bond over is our cat pictures. You know, we both have ragdolls. And my ragdoll was in the fucking bookshelf earlier today. She's never in the bookshelf. But this morning, I saw her there and I was like, oh my god, let me get a picture of this! But let's see, after visiting Dave and leaving the cemetery, I went to Guar Bar with these 2 friends I went with for that trip, and I got the Bacon Executioner burger. It's awesome. So good. Yeah, it's... God, such a great concept for a bar/restaurant. You know, you're hearing metal music while you're eating this awesome fucking food. Ministry was playing as I was eating, so... You know, you're sitting there eating your burger, hearing Burning Inside, and it's like the best feeling in the world. You're in your element. And you got these fucking Guar flyers everywhere and Guar masks everywhere. You know the album We Don't Kill... Oh, sorry. You know the album We Kill Everything? Well, they have a vegan burger called We Don't Kill Everything. They still sold the pint glasses that I got a few years ago. I got a pint glass, but they had this new shirt design they did last year. This thing is fucking awesome. Look at this. $25 for this shirt design. So good. Been wearing it the last couple days. Just got out of the shower, but I just wanted to show this to you before I throw it in the wash. Castle Crasher Productions. Just got out of school. Can't watch for long, but I'll be damned if I miss a stream entirely. Well, hey, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for joining. Happy Pickle. Have you ever mixed Shasta with Mountain Dew? It tastes amazing. I've never heard of Shasta. Let's see. Metal Manic. I was sad when Jeff Hanneman of Slayer died in 2013. Yep. That was horrible. Let's see. Who else? Let's see. Vegan Metalhead. Nice. A live stream. I do drink occasionally. Tonight, for the first time in 3 months, I had a shot of Bushmills. Well, that's good for you. That's good for you. Absolutely. But yeah, Dave's grave. That was a somber moment. The occasion for being in Richmond, actually, was going to see Clan of Zymox, who was playing at the Richmond Music Hall. And I can show you the shirt that I bought. If you saw the video, then you've already seen the shirt. But, Industrial YouTube, hey, I made it this time. Hey, welcome to the thing. But yeah, Clan of Zymox shirt. The show itself was awesome. Ronnie's stage banter was really good. They played stuff throughout their career, and they played for a while. They played most of the stuff that I wanted to hear. The only song they didn't play that I wanted to hear was This World. But it's probably one of those things where they play it often, and they just didn't feel like playing it that night. I don't know. The Bellwether Syndicate opened, and they were pretty good. They played a Bowie cover, and they played a Faith in the Muse cover. Turns out the singer, William, is in Faith in the Muse. So when I got a picture with the band, I was like, hey, I'm a big Faith in the Muse fan. So there you go. That was pretty cool. What was really nice was both bands were willing to sign autographs and take pictures with people. So the line for the pictures and autographs was pretty huge. Me and my friend waited for about 10, 15 minutes to get a picture with Ronnie. I had my friend go first, and as I took the picture for her. And then, as soon as I handed the phone back to her, some lady fucking cuts in front of me. And she's like, my son wants to take a picture. And her son behind her looked embarrassed by it. It just cut in front of everybody. And, of course, being 5 feet away from Ronnie, I didn't want to be that asshole who's going like, hey, you wait in line like everybody else. Because Ronnie could easily just override it and be like, nah, she can come. But she fucking held up the line for about 5 minutes while they took pictures and talked and bullshitted. And the lady behind me was like, hey, can you tell her to hurry the fuck up? I'm like, I know. Just rude ass fucking people, man. But it was a great night. Ronnie was really nice, and I told him, I was like, hey, listen, I've been listening to your stuff like a teenager since I discovered your music over the summer, so... Yeah, the sound was really good. They didn't have a drummer on this tour because I guess they had visa problems or some shit. But they used drum tracks, and most of the other stuff was played live. So there you go. Blake the Beast. Never been to Guar Bar, but I have been to Kuma's a couple times. Oh, I love Kuma's. Excellent stuff. See my videos on seeing X-Order in Chicago and the Ministry book signing with Al Jorgensen in Chicago. I go to Kuma's in both videos. Tasmanian Metal. Killbot, any tips for making music? I started a one-man black metal project, and I'm semi-satisfied with the songs I've come up with, but I feel like there's something missing. Don't release anything that you're not completely happy with. You know, since you're the only one, there's no excuse. I mean, the best I can tell you is, you know, sometimes it helps if you start a song completely over. You know, it's all about the little things. You know, sometimes you can add vocal layers or keyboards or pads or, you know, different, you know, maybe clean sections for the guitars or flanders, you know, little guitar effects, you know. Basically, if it sounds good, do it. Don't worry about rules. Just if it sounds good, do it. Horror Master, your thoughts on the Dio documentary? Haven't seen it. I know that Dio's autobiography was released some time ago, and I know the audiobook for it's on YouTube, and I just haven't listened to it yet anyway. Industrial YouTube. Hey Killbot, what's a band you love that only made one album? Like, for example, Nail Bomb. Disrupt. Nausea. I want to count Terrorizer as one because really they were never the same after World Downfall, but people are going to argue, oh, but they're good now. RX, that's one. That's a project with Martin Atkins and Kevin Ogre. Or Nivek Ogre, whatever you want to call him. Looking at my shelf. 45 Grave only had that one album, didn't they? Sleep in Safety? I can't remember. Yeah, looking at these CDs, I am damn close to having 1,000 CDs. I'm not even kidding. I have 998 CDs, and that's it. Like, 2 more CDs, and I'm at the 1,000 number. Holy shit. And it's part of my CD buying, like, I've slowed way the fuck down on CD buying, so that way I can save up for concerts, like going to see The Cure. But, like, getting CD number 1,000, that's going to take some thought, because I'm going to want it to be, like, a special occasion type thing. I'm going to make a video on this shit. And I think I already know what album I want. It's going to be Skinny Puppies Back and Forth Volume 2. John J., how can I get your autograph? Well, you can buy one of my patches. You can buy one of my patches for $6.66. Free shipping anywhere in the world. You can buy it on Bandcamp. You can buy it directly from me if you message me on my social media pages. You can buy them on Etsy. And that's pretty much it, because I send autographs out with every order. So, get to it, my friend. Get to it. A-Man 1998. Are there any CD covers that you don't like? Oh my goodness, there's so many. God, Voivod released a few compilation albums in the late 90s that they look like fucking stock Microsoft PowerPoint covers. God damn. I don't know who was their art designer at the time, but hopefully they were fired. My goodness, let me look at this shit. Chronic, I think? Let me look at this. Oh my god, yeah. Chronic. Like Kronik. That's... Ooh. Whew. I love Voivod, but man, that was horrible. Some other atrocious album covers. Foreigner Head Games. It looks like the lady is taking a dump in the urinal. I'm not making this up. Google it. That's what it looks like to my eyes. Callum Cook. Killbot, do you like My Dying Bride? I fucking love My Dying Bride. I've been listening to them since I was 14 years old. Angel in the Dark River, Turn Loose the Swans. Excellent stuff. Actually, some of my favorite stuff they've done is the Trinity album, which has all of their EPs. That was when Aaron was still doing some growls. I also love Paradise Lost, you know, the Gothic album, Lost Paradise, Icon. Excellent stuff. CD Sandwiches. Hey, I saw your video on crust jackets and was wondering, will you make another one for other metal stuff? You know, honestly, I sold that jacket because I just never wore it. That thing, it was a nicely designed jacket, but it was so damn heavy. It made me feel like a football player. You know, like, I still have a couple patches just for safekeeping, but for the most part, I'm more of a plain leather guy, you know? Like, there's my trench coat that I wear sometimes. But the coat that I wear most often, it's this one right here. And I've had this jacket for, I want to say 11 years now. So. A-Man 1998. I meant to ask if there are any that you find disturbing. My bad. There's an Italian band, I think it's called Funeral Drape, where they have a picture of an actual dead corpse. Yeah, like they're inconclusive whether it's real or whether it's not real, but the album has gained some controversy for that purpose. May Credible. If I caught it well, you occasionally listen to electronic music. Do you have any favorite artists or recommendations? Well, turns out the place that I just saw Clan of Zymox, Frontline Assembly, is getting ready to do a headlining show there. Now, I know that they're opening up for Ministry, but I've seen Ministry 3 times. I have no interest in seeing Al Jorgensen lip sync for the 4th time, okay? So, and on top of that, for Frontline Assembly to only play for fucking 30 minutes. Let me go see Frontline headline, and maybe I can get a picture with Bill Lieb and Reese Fulber or something, you know? Because I've been wanting to see Frontline for a lot of years. They're Canadian. And obviously with these international bands, the taxes to play in the United States, if I understand correctly, they're higher than anywhere else in the world. So, yeah, Frontline Assembly. Go check them out. Go check out Skinny Puppy. Anything from 1984 to 1996 will work. Not saying the reunion stuff is bad. It's just a different band altogether. 9 Inch Nails, one of probably my favorite band of all time. Like, between them and Guar. It depends on the day. There's the Frozen Autumn. That's another one. Lycia, that's another one. I don't know if they qualify as all electronic, though. So many good bands. Ministry, you can't go wrong with Ministry from 1986 to 2003, I'd say. Jenna Torturers. Yes, go listen to Jenna Torturers. Underrated output. Full Metal Guy. Are you looking forward to the re-releases of the Tony Martin Black Sabbath albums? If they'll ever re-release them, I will buy them. Come on, Tony Iommi. Fucking put them out! I used to have all of them. And I guess I needed the money, or I was getting out of CDs or something, and I sold those albums. I shouldn't have. But you know what? Those albums needed to be remastered anyway. Like, having heard the originals for the longest time, some of them sound kind of dated. Like Headless Cross and Eternal Idol. Forbidden always sounded like shit. But, yeah, I think, you could pull a decent album together if it was just mixed okay. Mortuary Drape. That's what it was. Not Funeral Drape, Mortuary Drape. Hey, we got a super chat. Hell yeah. From Zach Sharma. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Devil Dozer. Have you made a Deicide video? And if not, are you planning to? Go see my video, Scenes of a Metal Show. That's basically me trying to remake Heavy Metal Parking Lot, like in a metal setting. Like, I'm trying to capture the whole scope of going to see a metal show. Between talking to people in line, meeting friends before the show, going shopping and killing time before the show, bullshitting between the sets, and meeting the bands afterwards. So, there you go. But as far as a discography video, maybe I'll do it when they break up. Because, I try to avoid bands that are still active. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to do these discography videos, and they're going to become dated as soon as a new album is released. That was the mistake I made with Nile. I don't want to make that mistake again. How about Leatherstrip? Yep, try Leatherstrip and try KMFDM. Anything from 1989 to, I'd say, about 1997 will do you pretty good. So, there you go. Toxic Paradox. There's a band called Jenna Torturers. Yes, there is. I saw them twice. And these albums right here. Like, what they're known for. Actually, this lady, the front lady, she is married to David Vincent from Morbid Angel. That's right. And Evil D has been on and off with the band over the years, playing bass on these albums, and sometimes touring with them, but they've been around since the 80s, and their thing, the reason they're called Jenna Torturers is because back in the day when they could get away with this, they fucking pierce people's nipples, pierce people's dicks, pierce people's clits, pierce anything right on stage. They would pull people out from the audience and do that. And that was their thing. But these days, since it's toned down and more sanitized, they do slightly safer stuff, but still risque. Like, they had people swinging on hooks. They've got this strap-on metal dildo that they have like a grinder, and they make sparks come out. It's fucking awesome. It's more like bondage stuff, I guess. They're all dressed up in bondage gear, but it's industrial metal, and it's fun as hell to see live if you have the chance to see them live. And the music's really good too. Now the thing is, they don't really record a whole lot. They're more of a live band than a recording band. But the music is absolutely really good. The Vegan Metalhead, a super chat, $2. Thank you so much. What are your favorite foods? Well, I'm obsessed with pizza. I love pizza. I will eat any kind of pizza. Detroit pizza, Chicago pizza, New York pizza, I really like Domino's pan pizza, those handmade pan pizzas. The crust is so good. And, yeah, let's see, burgers, I like burgers, I like corn dogs, I like hot dogs, I like chicken from the right place, steaks, pork chops. I might be a little picky, I'm not terribly picky, but there's not a lot of food that I will say no to if I've never tried it, Callum Cook, has any band specifically helped you get out of a dark place mentally? For instance, Typo Negatives contribute to Deicide when I was 19. Hopefully you're in a better place now, man. But, I find that good music is comforting in any situation you're in. I did cry once listening to a Marilyn Manson song. Not going to go into details on it, but, I feel like Nine Inch Nails has comforted me more than any other band has done. Industrial YouTube. What's a hot take you have for metal, Killbot? My hot take is I don't care for the album Left Hand Path. It's one of my favorite albums of all time. But, I guess the biggest one that everybody gives me shit for is I don't like Metallica. I just don't. Also, Swan Song is better than Heartwork. I can tolerate Heartwork, but, I feel like the good songs are in the first half of the album, and then the second half of the album drags uncontrollably. I fall asleep every time I listen to it. At least with Swan Song, it's consistently good all the way through. You know what I mean? Serene Pierre, why come back from a show with a pick when you can have a Prince Albert piercing? Exactly. Al Jorgensen was telling a story in his book about how Jen, from Jenna Tortures, that's the singer's name, Jen, she invited Al on the tour bus to give him a piercing. And David Vinson walked in, saw her holding his penis, getting ready to, pierce him. And David Vinson got pissed off and started beating the shit out of Al. And Jen had to be like, wait, Dave, wait. I'm just trying to give him a piercing. And Dave was like, oh, you're okay with this? That's it? That's all that's going on? Okay. And he just left him bleeding in the parking lot. Okay, what else can I talk about? Oh yeah, so going to see The Cure. Going to see The Cure in May in New Orleans. I was doing a little research on them on Wikipedia. And I was looking at their live albums, and it turns out that their show album, the live album, was released on CDI. Yeah, remember that Angry Video Game Nerd episode about the Philips CDI? Oh, man. It was the first thing that popped up in my head. I'm like, well, first of all, it was like, wait, they were releasing albums on the fucking CDI. Man. There's no way that could have sold more than 200 copies. But the second thought that occurred was, it's time to hit the shit switch and crank up that diarrhea dial. I have Dark Castle on CD Flames. Oh! It's one of my favorite AVGN episodes. Ace Tracks. It seems I have been transported back to March 23rd, 2017. What do you mean? Thanks for flipping me off, Killbot. That made my day. Absolutely, bud. Now you're going to get flashed. Because why not? That's going to make your month. Okay, where are the super chats? Make it rain, baby. She's my cherry pie. Callum Cook. I'm jealous regarding seeing The Cure. I almost got to see them here in England. Yep, that's cool. That's cool. Kevin Hampton. My buddy wants me to travel to see The Cure with him, but I'm already flying to see Skinny Puppy 2 weeks before that, so I don't know if I'll go for it. Well, the thing is, it's more about just being ready financially, I suppose. For instance, I've had to cut way down on buying CDs, and there are a lot of CDs that I really want. Those Immolation albums that you can only really buy cheap from listenable records overseas. I want those. There's about 3 of them. Those Deicide reissues that just came out. They, like, over the summer, they put out the first 3 albums. The Feasting the Beast demo, the first album, and Legion. They put that in a big deluxe box set. And I discovered today that they put Once Upon a Cross and Serpents of the Light in its box set. And they put Incinerate Him, When Satan Lives, and In Torment and Hell in its own box set. I want all 3 of them. But, you know, I'm going to have to blue ball myself because I can't buy music until, you know, these shows happen. But similarly to your situation, Depeche Mode is getting ready to go on tour. And they are playing Atlanta. That's as close as they're coming to me, damn it. Now, I could spend $270 on a round-trip flight to Atlanta, as much as I hate Atlanta, but really, it's more of a thing of, you know, I'd much rather see The Cure than Depeche Mode. Because The Cure, I pretty much like every album I've heard from them. Depeche Mode, I'm not really into their early stuff, and I don't know, for me, like, the greatest hits is all I need. You know, like the singles compilation that came out in the late 90s. In your room. My goodness. I tried listening to one of their albums, Ultra, the other night. And as good as that album is, I got so fucking depressed that I cut it off halfway through and listened to some Def Leppard. It's like, man, this is making me sad. You know? Killbot, do you remember when AVGN had that fictional feud with Nostalgia Critic? Yep, I remember that. I used to watch Nostalgia Critic too, but I stopped watching him the year that he did that Hocus Pocus review because his reviews started getting unwatchable, man. It's like he thinks that screaming all the time is funny, and there's really a time and place for it. You know what? AVGN has that problem now too. Like, he's writing his own episodes again, which is good, but like he screams for no reason. And it's like, dude, it's hard to fake being angry. But these days, you can clearly tell that he's acting. When, in 2008, when he did the Batman Forever review for the Super Nintendo, that was not fake. Wyatt's Wild Nature. Taking my 19-year-old daughter to puppy. I've seen them a few times, and it's always great. Hey, good parenting right there, man. Awesome job. Awesome job. Your daughter will love you for the rest of your life. Man. I wish I went to see The Cure when they came to my country. Your videos on not taking concerts for granted has stuck with me. And it's become more prevalent on the mind in the last few years, I guess, because most of the bands I listen to, they're old, you know? Black Sabbath's not around anymore. Soundgarden's not around anymore. Dillinger Escape Plan's not around anymore. Lestravi's not around anymore, and I've seen all of these bands, so, you know. May Credible. Depeche Mode is the closest I've ever come to goth music. Go listen to Rosetta Stone's first album, An Eye for the Main Chance. So good. Oh, speaking of not metal stuff, any Talking Heads fans in here? Because they just announced that they're getting ready to do a 4K remaster and re-release Stop Making Sense in the movie theaters later this year. I'm excited. Now, those who have seen my favorite live albums of all time video, well, that was included as one of them. So, yeah, I'm ready to go see that in theater. Hear it on a good sound system. It's the only reason to go to theater anyway, because, like, people are so damn rude, man. They play on their phones, they joke and talk during the movie, they get up and come back over and over again, and too many people's fucking kids are running around the theater, cracking up and not behaving themselves, and the last several times I've gone to see the movies, I couldn't enjoy it, you know? Those people are so damn rude. Wyatt's Wild Nature. She wants my CD collection. Thousands of stuff, mostly 80s, 90s, and 2000s industrial goth rock metal EBM. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I'm close to 1,000 CDs myself. Discogs says I have 997 CDs. I have one on the way. It was a Christian death album that the seller said was mint like new, and it showed up and it was all scratched up. So I sent it back to him, and I bought another copy. So 998 is on the way. But hey, we got another super chat. The Raven 200. Thank you so much. I'm gonna feel like losing my grandpa when Ozzy passes. Me too. It goes back to what I was saying earlier about these people influencing and touching your life and being the soundtrack of your life. I'm 27 years old. I've heard Ozzy's music for, 20 years. I mean, it feels like Ozzy has always been there, you know? It's like Star Wars. I've been watching Star Wars since I was a fucking baby. My dad took me to see the goddamn special editions in 97 when they came to the theater. I obviously couldn't remember them, but, it's like Star Wars. It's always been around. It's always been there, you know? You're a Kai. That's why I don't go to the movies anymore. I miss when people got their asses kicked for not being quiet. I saw Dawn of the Dead remastered in 3D last year. Everybody was respectful. Oh, which Dawn of the Dead? The 70s version or the remake? Mono the Nightmare. Which Christian Death album? The Christian Death album called Only Theater of Pain. First album. Now, there's some version history with this album. Okay. The remastered one that they put out in 2010, I think, it actually sounds pretty good as far as sound quality goes. The problem is the track indexing. It's like each song begins with the first couple seconds of the song before it, which it didn't do on the original disc. But also there's like a skipping glitch on Resurrection, Sixth Communion, I think is the name of the song. About 2 minutes and 40 seconds in. That glitch is not on the original pressing, so I went to buy the original pressing, and I've been having bad luck with it because everybody keeps lying about the damn conditions of the disc. So, there you go. I'm picky about stuff like that. I know that some people aren't, but it's one of those things where, like, the better shape it is, the more I can appreciate the CD. And it doesn't always have to be mint spotless either. Like, I give leeway for discs that are really old. But, sometimes, like, what pisses me off really is when sellers lie about conditions, okay? Like, sometimes if I know that the CD is going to have a couple scratches, I might still buy it because, hey, whatever. I mean, it's an old disc. But when a seller says that it's spotless and it's got fucking scratches galore on it, that makes me upset, And I will send it back. Crate Clouds. Ozzy's book was great. It was entertaining, wasn't it? A-Man 1998. Should I categorize my CDs? I don't have that many, so should I start while I can? Hey, start whenever you want. I will say, though, it will make things easier to find. And also, wouldn't be a bad idea if you catalog them on Discogs. That way, when you go CD shopping, you can pull up your phone and see what you have and what you don't have. Doge style. You listen to The Cure? Yep, sure do. What else can I talk about? I guess it's safe to talk about this now because they announced it last night, but Noise Dosage Media. Some of you may have heard this podcast. He did an interview with me a couple of years ago. John did. And he also made a documentary called Between Exaltation and Aggression. Good documentary about, I guess, the history of death metal and, I don't know, the lifestyle of touring musicians and what keeps them going, etc. In this documentary is John McEntee of Incantation. Well, he's driving to North Carolina currently with John because they're going to do an Incantation documentary. And apparently, John, Jon, John, Noise Dosage John, not John McKenty. Noise Dosage John wants me to help him out on a couple days with this documentary, so that's going to be pretty cool. Basically, he's just going to be in Greensboro for the next couple weeks, I suppose, filming with John. Incantation John. That's going to be confusing when I'm actually with them. It's going to be like, okay, Jon John, okay. But, yeah, it's going to be cool. If they can use me, I will be more than happy to help out. Coffee Man, what's your opinion on the Reunion Terrorizer albums? The songs are okay, but the production fucking sucks, man. And the thing is, I actually like the new singer. It just... the production ruined it for me. Raven200. Killbot, I love your video on the movie Metalhead. It's just a shame that making the video was a pain for you. It was, but you know what? The movie, it's a great movie. You know, it's well done, it's well shot, it has a great story, great acting. It just... I would love to visit Iceland one day. Mainly for that movie. Maybe I can do some location sighting. Metal Man at Killbot, I know you already did a video of Pretty Hate Machine by Nine Inch Nails, but you should review Downward Spiral, Broken, With Teeth, or The Fragile. Maybe someday. Fun fact, the Downward Spiral gave me nightmares when I heard it, because I was 11 years old when I first heard it, and I wasn't quite used to music that honest and that violent. Yeah, so... Callum Cook, it's been a pleasure, Killbot. I have to go now, so keep up the great work. Well, thank you for joining in. Toast, finally, I didn't miss the stream. Well, that's good, man. Welcome to the stream. Devil Dozer, the public library in my town has a professional disc cleaner, $2 per disc. It's restored to very good plus. I'm not pissed off anymore. Yeah, I mean, you can get those disc resurfacers, and that's fine for a lot of people, but my thing is, the way it does it, tears off like a tiny layer of the plastic, and I get a little nervous about that. Let's put it that way. What else can I talk about? Oh yeah, the Residents, they're going on tour. They're going to be coming near me on April 2nd. That's going to be nice. And the guy who did the Ministry photo book, he already did a book on the Residents, and he's getting ready to do his second book on the Residents. He sent it to the printers, and now we wait. Can't wait to see A Sight for Sore Eyes Volume 2. It's going to be awesome. Wyatt's Wild Nature. My first CD was Nine Inch Nails Fixed. I had Broken on cassette, so I didn't have a way to play it for a year. You know, until recently, I never owned a physical copy of that, but it's a great remix album. Yeah, that one's great. Further Down the Spiral is great. There are two versions of it. There's the American version, then there's the European version with a different track listing. My favorite might be Things Falling Apart. I don't know. For me, it's between Things Falling Apart and Fixed. But the cool thing about the way Nine Inch Nails does remix albums is Trent gives the artists the stems, and they can just take these songs and make them as avant-garde as possible, you know? Further Down the Spiral, that was an interesting album because it basically took the songs and made them the complete opposite of the way they were on the album. Mono the Nightmare, do you like Sisters of Mercy? I feel bad for anybody who's going to see them live in the coming months because he sounds awful, but I have every album right here in this little pack. Dum dum bullets and fire at will. It's my Eldritch impersonation. Justin Stainer, I'm excited for the new Lords of Acid album. I'm excited to see how the new vocalist... She's fucking hot! God damn. You see those fucking posts she makes on Instagram? Man. But yeah, I've seen Lords of Acid twice, and I will tell you a story about Lords of Acid. For some reason, the Farsucker album is cursed, okay? Every copy that I find, and a friend of mine can find, every copy we find of this album used is fucking trashed, okay? This is the 5th copy of this album that I've ever bought. I bought 1 copy on vinyl when I was into vinyl, sold it. The first copy I bought was scratched up to shit. The song skipped. Gave it away. Second copy was also scratched, and I gave it away. No. Wait a minute. Timeline. Okay, so the second copy was vinyl. Third copy, when I bought the CD again, it was mint. Fucking mint. Fucking spotless. Even had the little promo insert that came with it from the record company. I just got it in January. Now, a friend of mine was here a couple weeks after that happened, and, you know, we like to rip CDs from each other's collections when we visit each other. So, she had her CD player. She put Farsucker in her fucking CD player, and her CD player ate my disc! It started making a grinding noise, and spinning weird, and it wouldn't give the disc back, it wouldn't eject it, and I was like, ah! The whole time. Eventually, I had to fish that fucker out with my debit card and a piece of scotch tape. But yeah, $25 CD that I just bought. Mint. Hard to find this fucking album mint. Fucking thing was scratched up. That broke my heart so much. And it wasn't even really her fault. So I didn't ask her, hey, buy me another copy. I didn't ask her that. But I was not happy, needless to say. I bought another supposed mint copy right then and there, and, well, it showed up it wasn't mint. Again, the seller lying about the condition. Fucking asshole. Since she was having so much trouble finding a decent copy, I gave that copy to her since she doesn't really care about that type of thing, and this is copy number 5. Seller said it was mint and spotless, and it pretty much is. I mean, it's a 23-year-old album. I mean, you kind of have to tilt it in the light a little bit, but you know what? That's fine. I'm fine with that, you know? So, copy number 5 of Lords of Acid Farsucker. Yeah. This fucking thing needs to be behind laser security bars. And the weird thing is, a lot of people don't like that album. I love it. You know, it's one banger after another. I mean, it's got its share of filler, but fuck, man. Like, Screwed by You, Loverboy, Lovergirl, Sex Bomb, that's my theme song. Well, here I am, baby doll, a free man. Stripper, that's another one. Praise the Lords, Fuck the Rest, that's another one. Lucy's Fucking Sky. Kiss Eternal. It's weird that Lords of Acid would write a song like that, but they did it so well. They sold it so well. Coffee Man, what are your favorite video games? Donkey Kong Country 2 is my favorite video game of all time. I love Doom. I love Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I love Quake. I recently got finished playing the first one again for the millionth time. Blood, the one that came out in 1997 by Monolith. Excellent game. Super Metroid, Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, Earthworm Jim 2, that's another one. Final Fantasy VI, one of the greatest video game soundtracks of all time. So many good ones. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, Red Dead Redemption 1, I suppose. Hey, Killbot, I love your shirt. Well, thank you, Kirosha. Thank you so much. Love some Pentagram. Love some Pentagram. Full Metal Guy. Opinion on re-recorded versions of classic albums. Oh, you mean like Exodus re-recording Bonded by Blood? Yeah, bands really need to not do that. Exhumed did that with Gore Metal, and the sound quality was good, but, you know, everybody's going to reach for the originals. You know, actually, I've been wanting to do a video on re-recorded albums for a while. Specifically because Impaled re-recorded their first album called The Dead Shall Dead Remain. And actually, this album deserves its own video on its own. The re-recorded version is called The Dead Still Dead Remain. And basically, they got the drummer back, who hadn't been with the band in 10 years. The packaging's the same, the artwork's pretty much the same. The songs note for note are the same, except for it's in better sound quality. And the reason that they re-recorded this note for note is because they had a conflict with the record company before they went out of business. And the record company wouldn't sell them the rights back. So the band thought that it was basically cheaper to just re-record the album from scratch and release it that way than it would have been to buy the rights to the original album and release it. So there you go. Not my favorite Impaled album. That title goes to Mondo Medicale. Excellent shit. Excellent fucking Carcass-influenced death metal. If you like Exhumed, if you like Ghoul, can't go wrong with Impaled. So good. Speaking of Gorgrind and Carcass, who's ready to see Carcass next month? Have you seen those fucking posters that they're teasing on social media? They look so fucking good! Carcass was my first death metal show, and it's still one of the top 5 best shows I've ever been to. Yeah. Why It's Wild Nature. The original Quake is great with a download album. Those tracks on Stanley Payne. Yep, when you put the disc in, and I used to have the disc, you hear the soundtrack by Trent Reznor, which I have ripped on my laptop. Excellent stuff. Justin Stainer, Arch Enemy kind of did that, and I really liked it. Who else? Lacuna Coil, I think, re-recorded the Cawley's album, which was unneeded, but when you buy it, you also get a copy of the original Cawley's. Okay, so what else can I tell you? We've been streaming for 66 minutes. Oh, yeah. Oh, so my swing set outside. For those who've been following my Instagram page, sometimes I'll do these little posts on the progress of my swing set. Because this fucking thing is so lightweight it keeps falling over when wind comes by. And so what I did, I put, like, anchors wouldn't stay in the ground for some reason. Like, I twist them into the ground and they just keep popping out. So I put cinder blocks, like, between the bars of the swing set. I put one on each side, and it still fell over. So I went back and I got 2 more for each side, and, well, the swing set's still standing, but now the roof of it flew off. Yeah, so wind 1, swing 0. Gonna have to figure out a way to fix that because, well, I think the plastic is broken off now. Fuck. It's 6 o'clock. I need to eat something. BK, heyo, hey, how you doing? At BK, you got it. Have it your way. Traveling alone. Okay, that's the only other thing that I have on this post-it note. Traveling alone. I was talking to somebody earlier today. They drove 4 hours to a concert by themselves earlier this week. And she was talking about how it was bliss, all quiet, didn't have to make accommodations for anybody, etc. And I empathize with that because that's the thing. I do a lot of traveling on my own. I go to shows by myself. I've been going to shows by myself for a long-ass time. And, you know, people sometimes talk to me. They're like, oh, well, I want to go to this and I want to visit this city, but, you know, I don't have anyone to go with me. And it makes me scratch my head. It's like, why do you need people to go with you? Honestly. I mean, it's good for cutting costs if you're splitting gas or splitting food or splitting Ubers or whatever, but in general, it really is nice when you can do it on your own terms. I've gone to Chicago on my own. I've gone to New Orleans on my own. It is nice, you know? because I'm all about being more the merrier. I want people to participate as much as they can, but also like the more people you add on to a trip, the more goddamn needlessly complicated it becomes, because then they want to stop for the bathroom breaks and they don't want to leave early in the morning and they don't want to leave until this time and they got to be at work the next morning and they want to be out of there by 11 o'clock at night, or they want to stop at this place and not stop at that place. And it's one of those things where it's just endless compromises. It's not so bad when it's just one person that's going with you, but when you start getting 3, 4, 5 other people with you, oh boy, that's a lot of arranging. That's a lot of accommodating and compromises to be made. It's a needless headache. So nobody wants any sourness or bitterness after a fun trip, a trip that's supposed to be fun anyway, so fuck it. You can't find any friends that'll go with you to the show? Fuck it. Go on your own. Have fun. It'll be peaceful. Even if you gotta drive 3 hours there and 3 hours back, no, you won't have anybody who can take over if you get tired, but it'll be quiet. It'll be peaceful. You'll love it. You'll be on your own terms, It just blows my mind that people just have to have somebody ride with them all the time. It's like, do you really? Foxfur says, I know that you prefer CD, but is there a vinyl album that you would like to have? Probably Christian Death, Only Fear of Pain, that little box set that they put together. Maybe. And part of me wishes that I didn't sell that Skinny Puppy Last Rites record that I had a few years ago. Which I sold it for less than what I bought it for, but I didn't play it, Like the thing about the records, a lot of people were shocked when I sold my records, but the thing is, I don't play them. And I own 16 of them, including the 7 inches. But I never play them, ever. Foxfur, driving alone, you own the stereo. I mean, it is nice to hear different stuff on this radio every once in a while, but you won't have people going, oh, I hate the fucking Talking Heads. I don't want to listen to the Talking Heads. Okay, fine. Dear Prudence. On Sunday, I gave my friend a Susie and the Banshees CD because I had an extra copy, and we were playing Susie, and so I've had Dear Prudence stuck in my head for the last few days. So good. Hey, she's announcing festival dates this year. I would love to see her play the United States. Of course, if she goes on tour, she's probably going to pass over North Carolina, but I would absolutely love to see that. Like, the goth queen. It's a shame because, she wasn't as popular in North America as she was in England. The Cure was popular in North America. The Cure sold way more albums, and, they're loved by pretty much everybody, but Susie, unfortunately, I feel like she didn't really get her just due. Her drummer is fucking nuts. Budgie can play any style with precision and power. Noah Varg, my first concert was Kiss in Milwaukee. I saw Kiss in 2009, I think. Excellent show. And then I saw them with Motley Crue opening, and then I saw them with Def Leppard opening. Excellent shows. Okay, well, Bobby Bones Hartman, do you have any Irish or Scottish in your ethnicity? I only ask because it's St. Paddy's Day. Funny you mention that because I actually have a DNA kit from Ancestry.com that I've been meaning to turn in, and I just haven't really made the time to do it. But according to my sister's chart, we have a lot of Irish and English in our blood. We've been told most of our lives that we have a lot of Italian in our blood, but the Italian percentage is actually surprisingly low. Actually, we have a lot of Jewish in our heritage. So that's another one, that shocked me. It was a higher percentage than I was expecting. Annika Jewish, I think that's how you say it. My grandfather was Jewish. My great-grandfather was Jewish. And his whole family was Jewish, so... Yeah, it's interesting like that. Kirosha, I wish to participate in a mosh pit one day. I will go to a concert. I heard it's fun, but sometimes it can be dangerous. Well, you just read the room, you know. You don't be in there any longer than you're comfortable with, and if you feel pain, get out. Lonely Milk. Hey, Killbot. Just saw a Napalm Death last week, and it was awesome. That's cool. That was my second death metal show. Okay, better start wrapping this up in a few minutes because we've been going for 75 minutes. I'd like to thank everybody who has participated in this stream. It's been really fun. It's been nice talking to you all. If you haven't seen my video on visiting Dave Brocky's grave, go watch it because your views help me. It helps my revenue, it helps my reach, it pushes my video out to other people, and you get to hear me choke up and tear up a little bit. I was flirting with the idea of editing that out, but fuck it. Life's short. Life is too short to hide myself. So. Foxfur, you can tell someone has Italian ancestry by their side profile. What do you mean? Justin Stainer, where are you most likely to answer DMs? I have some stuff I'm thinking about sending you. Oh, thank you. I mostly do Instagram. But also, Killbot patches. Still got a bunch of them. So, anybody who wants a Killbot patch, if you have PayPal, you can buy them directly from me. You can also buy them off of Etsy and Bandcamp, and if you buy it on Bandcamp, you get a free download of my digital album. So, $6.66. Free shipping anywhere in the world. So, this is going to look good on your vest. Party Dude 1977, you're walking in right at the end, bud. Hey, what's up? Like your videos, keep up the work. Cool you met Clams IMOX. Dude, that was awesome. Why It's Wild Nature. Do you watch Kevin Key's interviews on YouTube with music producers? No, but I should, and I'd like to get him involved on the big video that I'm planning on doing for Skinny Puppy's Process video, because that album has a pretty insane story, which some people say is more interesting than the album itself, but I digress. Yeah. Can't wait to see Puppy. It's going to be awesome. But, yeah. Killbot, good to see you. How do you take care of your hair? From Snaggletooth. I put a pick through it every morning, starting from the bottom, working my way up. I wash it once a week. I put Apogee protein treatment in there after shampooing. Leave that in for a couple minutes. Rinse that out. Put a load of conditioner in there. Rinse that out. And once I'm out of the shower, I put Apogee leave-in conditioner in there. I have velvet pillowcases. I use hair scrunchies. And my hair has looked better in the last year than it has ever. So, there you go. Okay, so, starting to lose my voice, and I need to go eat something. So, thank you all for joining me, and it was great discussing things with all of you. So, grind on. See my latest video, and see you next time. Mark Foster. Hey, dude from Melbourne, Australia. Hey, how you doing, man? Cheers. Good stream, dude. Bye. Thank you all. Thank you all so much.